The following program is brought to you by Arlington Community Media, where we tell your story. Cambridge Typewriter Company in Arlington, you've got mail. Tom Hanks sends a special package to this unique Arlington shop this week, and the store owner tells us he'll be keeping tabs on it. The parking freebie continues in town partly because of supply chain issues, but it won't be for long. We'll tell you when, once again, you'll have to grab your spare pocket change to park in town. And we have a President's Day. How about a day to celebrate their spouses? We'll talk to the founder of National First Ladies Day. He is on a quest to celebrate our women of history with a federal holiday. ACMi News starts right now.
From McLennan Park to Spy Pond, from Poets Corner to the Mystic River, we have Arlington covered, giving you stories that count from people who care. Reliable, trustworthy, dependable. This is the nationwide award-winning ACMi News. Hot off the presses, or in this case, hot off the typewriter, what a story that happened this week right here in Arlington. It's not a toy store either. This is big. Hello, I'm Paul Werlin.
And I'm Summer Maxwell. You may know about Tom Furrier, the owner of the Cambridge Typewriter Company at 102 Mass Ave.
Someone must have told Tom, you've got mail. See, he received a package that was weighty. The hefty package came not from Polar Express, but Federal Express.
It's a typewriter, thought Tom, but who sent it? Jeff Barnes reports this Hollywood story is in a league of their own.
Hi, this is Carl Bernstein of the Washington Post, and I was just wondering if you can remember...
Many times over the years, the typewriter has played an outstanding supporting role in some of the greatest films ever made. But in this case, the typewriter gets A-list billing in a thriller that was featured here at the Cambridge Typewriter Company this week.
Just another day until FedEx delivered a package shortly after lunch. And I knew it was a typewriter in the box because we have people that send them to us. But I didn't know the return address. I said, I wasn't talking to anyone. I wasn't expecting anything. So I started opening the box. And I see, as soon as I open the top flaps, I see a towel with the Playtone logo on it. And as soon as I saw it, that's Tom Hanks' production company. The second I saw it, I said, that's it. I went, woohoo! Tom Hanks just sent us a typewriter.
Yep, two-time Oscar winner and typewriter lover Tom Hanks sent this autographed Olympia SM4 model from Santa Monica, California to Furrier's Arlington shop. The FedEx package also included a letter from Hanks stating, quote, I am presenting you with this typewriter to do with as you please.
Well, he's trying to lower his inventory. He's got too many typewriters. So what he's doing is he's repurposing them, sending them to typewriter shops around the country and telling them this typewriter is yours to do what you want with. But he would like to see if you would recondition it and get it back out working.
Tom Furrier has been at this shop now for 33 years, restoring and selling typewriters, some of which date to the late 19th century. But this is truly a showpiece.
I brought my typewriter to a skilled craftsman, and little did I know there would be a Tom Hanks typewriter here that's exactly like the one that I am bringing in to have repaired. So it's a great little extra bonus to come see it.
And the typewriter arrived here via FedEx, the same company Tom Hanks worked for in Castaway.
I didn't even think about that connection. That's amazing.
It's just been a few days, but what do you intend to do with this typewriter?
Well, that's the big question. For now, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to recondition it, make it like new again. I'm going to hold on to it for a little bit, and then I'm going to pass it on to someone who needs a typewriter. Whether I sell it or whether I donate it to a charity auction, I'm not sure yet.
Any chances of Harrison Ford sending his typewriter to you as well?
Wouldn't that be nice, huh?
So there you have it. Tom got a great gift that if he chooses to keep, he'll treasure for the rest of his days. And this was totally unexpected, completely out of the blue. So it must be true. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Can't remember who said that. For ACMi News, I'm Jeff Barnes.
Furrier is also going to have the typewriter case redone as well. He's considering having it painted by an area artist in a theme that would include Tom Hanks.
The voters of Arlington have spoken, and according to the unofficial results in Arlington's 2023 town election of April 1st, all the incumbents will keep their seats. Turnout for this election was higher than more recent town elections, roughly 22.5%. ACMi News had live coverage, election coverage from just outside the town clerk's office. Here's an unofficial tally from April 1st. In the race for the Select Board, Len Diggins and Diane Mahan were both re-elected with just over 4,500 votes cast for each. And for School Committee, Liz Exton and Paul Schlichtman were re-elected, followed by Laura Gittleson, who garnered 4,200 votes. Mary Wynne Stanley O'Connor ran unopposed in the race for Board of Assessors with 54+ votes. And Town Clerk Julie Brazil will be serving another 3-year term office, running unopposed. The new Select Board Chair, Eric Helmuth, announced the numbers on our Saturday coverage.
We have learned in this country recently to not take free and fair elections for granted, not only in this country but in the rest of the world. So even on a local level, where the races may not seem all that exciting, it's really important.
For all the latest election results, just go to the town website, arlingtonma.gov/election. Again, that's arlingtonma.gov/election.
The town of Arlington is set to begin work repairing the Chestnut Terrace crosswalk at Mystic Street. Work is set to begin April 10th, weather permitting, and takes place more than 3 years after an elderly pedestrian heading to Mass at St. Agnes was struck and killed at the crosswalk. According to Your Arlington, town officials took action after 2 town meeting members, Paul Schlichtman, a neighbor, and Joanne Preston, a member of the Housing Authority, persisted after the 2019 death of Anne DeRosier. In 2020-22, the town was awarded a MassDOT Shared Streets and Spaces grant of about $144,000 to partly pay for the construction. Some Arlington residents say they wish it didn't take so long to finally get something done here to make this crosswalk safer. The DPW also plans to make accessibility improvements to several curb ramps in the vicinity of the project.
And now it's time for the Let's Congratulate 2 area people who have new job titles in Arlington Department. First, Arlington has a new town treasurer-collector. Anna Terrell will have several responsibilities, including the disbursement, investment, and borrowing of monies, preparation of fiscal reports, and collecting taxes. Terrell began her role on March 27th. She was the deputy treasurer-collector since 2021. Ms. Terrell was senior accountant at LaSalle University. She also served as the accountant for the town of Wayland for 7 years. Ms. Terrell holds a Bachelor of Science in Accounting from Ceará State University in Brazil.
And now on to the second newcomer here in Arlington, the APD's new animal control officer. This week we get to talk to her. Her name is Courtney Wilson, and you may recall ACMi News caught up with Miss Wilson on her first day of work, March the 27th, as she was given a quick tour of Arlington. One of her major stops on day 1 was at Spy Pond, one of Arlington's treasures teeming with wildlife. Courtney comes from the Lowell PD, where she was an animal control officer for 3 years. She tells ACMi News she's now taking a crash course in everything Arlington and doing quite well.
I'm definitely learning the streets. I'm driving around a lot, learning the different parks, getting there. Learning the parks is definitely my first step, and then I'll learn the streets.
That's where all the wildlife is.
Yeah, that definitely is where all the wildlife is.
All right, now when I saw you, you had a new set of wheels. This is a beautiful, brand new. It's like something you'd win on a game show. Good for you.
Yeah, it's very nice and shiny, and we're gonna hope to keep it that way.
That'll be your responsibility, I take it?
Yeah, I don't mind cleaning it though. I like to keep it clean for the animals.
Now listen, you're coming from Lowell, and I'm sure there's a huge difference between Lowell and Arlington, Massachusetts. So how will your job change with this move coming to Arlington?
I don't think it'll change much. I definitely realize in Arlington the residents are more passionate about helping animals, which is great. But I'm still here to help the animals and, patrol the parks, keep the off-leash dogs in hand. And I'm just here to help the animals, and that's my passion. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, how's this for pressure? You just got here, but what do you intend to do in Arlington in the near future and also the long term as animal control officer?
Yeah, I definitely want to form the relationship with the residents here. Like I said, I'm new to Arlington. I'm still learning the streets. The residents that I have met, like I said, are very passionate about animals and very welcoming. So I think just forming that relationship with them. So the more people, looking to help the animals, the better.
I think when people have problems with an animal, let's say they have a pest in their house or a stray dog or whatever, some people are reticent to call the police for us. They're going, they must have bigger fish to fry. But you're the animal control officer, so what would you like to tell the people of Arlington? You're now full staff, you're ready to go. What would you like to tell them?
Yeah, I am definitely here and ready to go. It might take me a bit, like I said, getting there with my GPS, but I'm ready to go and I'm happy and here to help.
Thank God for GPS.
Yeah, very, very much so, but I'm learning.
Welcome to Arlington, Courtney. We're looking forward to working with you.
Thank you so much.
Miss Wilson is a graduate of the Massachusetts Animal Control Academy and is certified in pet CPR and first aid. She's also trained to handle cases involving animal cruelty, dangerous dogs, reptiles, and disaster relief management for domestic animals. We welcome Courtney and we look forward to working with her in the future.
Last fall, ACMi News told you about Tim Ross, who had just been hired as Arlington's new ADA coordinator. Tim is working within the Department of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and the Health and Human Services Department. He has been collaborating with the Disability Commission and is focusing on access for everyone when it comes to town projects, programs, and policies. He recently spoke to ACMi's James Milan about some of the projects he's currently working on.
With the reservoir being having all that renovation construction done, working on securing funding for 2 floating beach wheelchairs. So that would give folks who are wheelchair users access to actually get in and enjoy the reservoir as well. The Recreation Department actually purchased a Moby mat, which is a rubber mat that allows wheelchairs to go travel across sand. So really excited about that. We're also working with Top Soccer, which is a soccer program for disabled youth, to get them some funding for some equipment and things for the season this spring.
To see James' interview with Tim Ross in its entirety, just go to our website, acmi.tv.
If you're a news junkie, then you know how the face of local news has changed drastically in recent years. The Friends of the Robbins Library will be staging a moderated discussion about local journalism. The event is called Why All News is Local, featuring Arlington resident Crystal Haynes of Channel 25 News, Bob Sprague of YourArlington.com, and ACMi News Director Jeff Barnes. You'll hear from these journalists about the state of local news reporting and how the media landscape has changed in such a short period of time. The panel will be moderated by the Assistant Director of Libraries, Amanda Troha, and it will be followed with a Q&A session. This free event will take place at the community room of the Robbins Library at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April 12th, and we hope to see you there.
Park for free while you can. Currently, all single-space parking meters in Arlington Center are being replaced. And while this is going on, you can park in those spots absolutely free of charge. The deadline's been extended, but not for much longer.
Nearly 150 street meters are getting a topical makeover in Arlington. Town manager Sandy Puller told ACMi's James Milan on March 30th that the old meters have outlived their welcome.
The ones that are in place now have 3G technology, which is a kind of mobile technology for phones that isn't supported anymore. So they simply don't work.
Work to replace the heads with new ones was supposed to be wrapping up by now, but
we had to contract with a new company to come in and replace the meters. They had some supply chain issues, which listeners may be familiar with in their own lives.
That's understandable. And while the town waits for the supply chain to once again open, Arlingtonians keep the change in their pockets. But there is a deadline.
We are no longer enforcing collection of meters, at least until April 15th. We are hoping to have things up and running by then, although again, with some of the supply chain issues, stay tuned, keep watching the town website, but at least between now and the 15th, people do not have to pay at the parking meters.
Now, this grace period only applies to the single-space street meters in these particular parking spots: Mass Ave between Franklin and Jason Streets, Broadway between Franklin and Webster Streets, Broadway Plaza at Alton Street between Broadway and Belton, Medford and Court Streets, Peg Spengler Way near the Unitarian Church. You still have to pay at the Russell Common, Railroad Avenue, and Library municipal lots. So the window of opportunity is closing real fast if you're looking to get something for nothing during this tax season. And there was one more point to make in James' interview with Mr. Puller. I can't remember what it was.
It may be good news to many of our listeners that there's a couple more weeks of that to enjoy coming up.
Can I just add, Jim? We're still enforcing the 4-hour limit. So even though you don't have to pay at a meter, you can't park all day. So you can park for free for up to 4 hours, but then you need to move your car.
18 feet covered. Safe until 4:15. For ACMi News, I'm Jeff Barn.
And you heard the town manager. Once the new meters make their presence known, it'll be time to grab your debit or credit card or some spare pocket change. Keep up to date with the meter situation by going to the town website, arlingtonma.gov/parking. Again, that's arlingtonma.gov/parking. As Americans, we love our holidays like July 4th and President's Day. Well, one man is trying to add another national holiday to the calendar, First Ladies' Day. Marshfield, Missouri resident Reverend Nicholas Inman is the founder of First Ladies' Day. And the first celebration will take place Saturday, April 29th at the Missouri Cherry Blossom Festival, which focuses on U.S. history. But Inman is determined to take his idea to the other 49 states to ensure our First Ladies get their props.
Tell us about the importance of First Ladies in American history. They seem to get marginalized and overshadowed, obviously, by their spouses.
I often say a good deal of the First Ladies are unsung heroes. They've contributed so much to our culture and to the history and the fabric of our nation that often we do not evaluate till years after they've been in the White House. You know, they're in an unelected, unpaid position, but yet we put such expectations upon them. And when you look at their contributions to history and how they have affected policy decisions and behind the scene maneuvers, they've really made a great impact upon the country. And our commission feels it's time that they should be honored. And although the national kickoff is occurring in Missouri, we want to encourage citizens across the country to really be looking at their own communities and what can we do that day to go out and kick off First Ladies' Day, whether it's reading to a group of students or beautifying your community or going out and helping others, whatever it might be, there's a way to honor our First Ladies in every project that we endorse.
I think that's a great idea. And if you read your history, you'll find out, I guess it's, in my humble opinion, some First Ladies did a much better job at their job than their spouses did as President of the United States. I won't name any presidents, but would you agree with me, or am I out there?
Certainly. And, I think it was Mrs. Ford who once said it was often the woman behind the scenes that made more decisions than we ever realized. And of course, history regards women like Edith Wilson. She may have even been president for a time when Wilson was recovering from a stroke. But you have First Ladies like Rosalind Carter, who attended all the cabinet meetings and were hands-on in the administration. And I was asked the other day if I thought, which First Ladies did I think would have made better presidents than their husbands? And I had to really walk carefully around that. I just said, I think a good deal of them.
I was going to ask you that very question. Are there any First Ladies that stand out, or are you going to plead the fifth and play it safe?
I'm going to play the fifth, but I will say this, it really rings true, the statement, behind every great man is an even greater woman.
Absolutely.
And I think this is a great illustration of that.
Yeah, it is, and it's a great project. The one First Lady that stands out to me, obviously, if besides Edith Wilson, without a doubt, I think you're right about that. When he had a stroke, Woodrow Wilson, is Eleanor Roosevelt. I mean,
of course,
her impact is still being felt nationwide today, and I think a lot of people don't appreciate the effort, the diplomatic effort she put into making this country a better place.
Well, they were a team. She had to be his eyes, ears, and legs all over the country. And, this was a period of our history that it's hard for us to understand so far removed. But she was looking at civil rights. She was looking at a nation that was divided by war, all these different things that she had upon her plate. And she still managed to do it effectively and efficiently, and really was a great source of strength for Franklin Roosevelt during a very troublesome time in the nation.
Civil rights in the 30s and the 40s. Can you imagine that?
Can you
Yes.
imagine
Don't
that?
you think of the big instance when the DAR would not allow Marian Anderson to give her concerts in their hall there in Washington, D.C. So, of course, it was Eleanor Roosevelt who got involved, and Marian Anderson ended up performing from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. And, so she was doing her own thing, progressing many of those movements on her own, all in this unelected position. And, I say we're honoring first ladies because they're unelected and they're not paid, but yet we sure criticize them whenever we feel that they've stepped outside of the box. Even after they leave the White House, these women are still put into a position of great expectations, and they've really contributed at great sacrifices, some of them, to the betterment of the country.
Yeah.
And so we have President's Day. We needed First Ladies Day.
During the month of April, ACMi News will be interviewing several descendants of Presidents Eisenhower, Taft, McKinley, and Grant, and their spouses. If you want to learn more or even play a part in this grassroots movement, call or email First Ladies organizers at 417-241-2091 or email them at natlfirstladiesday@gmail.com. Again, that's natlfirstladiesday@gmail.com. It may be cold outside, but in sports, we are already getting ready for the spring sports schedule.
Let's go to our sports reporter, Owen Tambor, for the latest. Owen?
Thanks, guys. Hi, everyone. I'm Owen Tambor, and welcome back to this week's ACMi Sports Update. The sun is up, the sky is blue, and spring sports began in earnest for Arlington High School, and ACMi has you covered. To the diamond, AHS varsity softball began Monday, April 3rd at home against Watertown with a 12-0 win. Boys baseball began this season April 3rd against Watertown also, but lost the game 3-2 on the road. The girls lacrosse team fell to Framingham Monday, April 3rd, 17-7, while the boys came out with a win on March 30th, 6-4 over Waltham. 3 straight home games into the boys varsity volleyball season, and the boys are 1-2 at home. Finally, boys and girls tennis remain undefeated with a combined record of 7-0. Keep an eye out for Arlington High School baseball, softball, boys volleyball, and lacrosse. ACMi will keep you updated all through the spring. That's a look at Arlington sports highlight for this week. Go to acmi.tv/sports or the ACMi YouTube page to see all AHS matchups in their entirety. I'm Owen Tambor, and I'll see you back here next week.
Get ready for a massive celebration of food in Arlington. Dame Delicious promises to be an evening of culinary adventures at Town Hall. The event will be a showcase of the best woman-owned restaurants and food crafters, plus wine tastings, cookbook signings, a boutique of curated gifts, and classes on home entertaining. Coordinator Robin Cohen says this evening will be full of culinary surprises.
We have Tiffany Faison from the Big Heart Restaurant Group. You've seen her on Top Chef. She's going to be coming in. We have James Beard Award winning restaurants. We've got local favorites that are coming in, like the Roasted Granola Cafe and the Inn at Hastings. So we've got everybody covered from the restaurants. We've got an incredible panel of experts from This Old House show that are coming in to talk about summer entertaining. So you can take your regular backyard and turn it into this beautiful entertaining space to enjoy with your friends. We have Elle Simone Scott from America's Test Kitchen. She's going to be teaching us how to make a cheese board. So once you have that beautiful entertaining space, you have something to serve in it. And speaking of cheese boards, we're going to have a 12-foot cheese board for people to nibble on, courtesy of Piantadosi bread and Cabot cheese, duck trap salmon. They're just some of the people that are donating for the giant cheese board. So it's going to be an incredible event.
The event is at Town Hall from 5 to 9 p.m. Proceeds go to Les Dames Culinary Adventure Awards, which will help promising female culinary students fulfill their career dreams, and to FoodLink, which rescues surplus nutritious food to distribute to low-income individuals experiencing food insecurity. For more information, please contact Robin Cohen at robin@dovesandfigs.com. Again, that's Robin at dovesandfigs.com.
This Saturday in Arlington, it's time for the Battle of the Bands 2023, which will be held this year in the brand new AHS Auditorium, featuring bands like Gym Class, No Turn on Red, and Chicken Big. All proceeds benefit Save the Children, and this Saturday, ACMi will be streaming the event live to YouTube. Here's an ACMi-produced promo for what is sure to be a super event. Want to stream it? Just go to youtube.com/@ACMiTV/streams. That's youtube.com/@ACMiTV/streams. And the stream starts promptly at 6:55 p.m. All proceeds benefit Save the Children.
That'll do it for us this week here at ACMi News. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Paul Werlin.
And I'm Summer Maxwell. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
You can always check out our latest segments and newscasts on the web at acmi.tv/news. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ACMi News. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You'll find us at youtube.com/ACMi News. If you have any news tips for us or wish to become a citizen journalist, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at news@acmi.tv or stop by ACMI Studio A at 85 Park Avenue.